So to get up for this review, I think I'm gonna enjoy a little bit of super coffee. It's delicious.
There's a lot of caffeine in those guys. Chug, chug, chug.
That's some good stuff. I'm Thomas from Believe in the Run.
And this is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And today we're talking about something different.
The HOKA Bondi X.
I don't know, you call it the HOKA. I mean, if we're gonna go totally correct, do we gotta say the One?
Sure.
HOKA One Bondi X. And I know some of you are like, isn't it a Bondi? No, it's a Bondi. It's named after a place called Bondi. Megan, you've always loved the Bondi.
I have always loved the Bondi. If you've heard me talk about shoes, you know I love stack height, a lot of cushioning, and that's what the Bondi brings.
Like soft pleasure for your feet.
What's crazy is the X means what?
It's gonna give it to you.
Okay.
There's a carbon plate in this shoe. Why? The Bondi is not a speed day shoe. We've only seen, not only, but most of the time when they're throwing a carbon plate into a shoe, it's for speed days. Why, Megan? Why is there a plate in this Bondi?
Well, essentially, you're bringing a little bit of that, so the benefits of the carbon fiber plate, which is sort of that smooth transition and quick turnover, to the everyday runner.
We can get into all the details of shoes, but let's just jump to the meat. And with the plate, you're used to that soft feeling in the Bondi. You can run fast in the Bondi. I've never been able to run fast in the Bondi, but this plate helps a little bit. But I'd still say the main thing about the shoe is comfort. Do you feel that the plate makes a huge difference in the way that you feel about the shoe?
I don't think it makes a huge difference. I did go out for a longer run with some faster paces and it felt pretty good and comfortable for those, but I also just loved it for cruising around like I normally would in a Bondi.
Yeah, so this shoe isn't necessarily built for that top 1% runner trying to get that extra 4% out of their run. This is just a comfort cruiser.
Yeah.
And you just get that benefit of having a little more guidance, feeling a little less sloppy than you would if it didn't have a plate, correct?
Exactly.
All right, so let's get into the upper. It's got a lightweight mesh upper, thin tongue. I think they're doing a lot of things right to try to reduce some of the weight that this stack and the carbon plate and the rubber are gonna bring to the shoe. What did you think about the upper?
I thought it fit really well. I love this like sort of wider build that you have here. It's fairly breathable. It is a little thicker than some of the meshes that we've been wearing throughout the summer, but nothing like horrible. And yeah, you've got some nice padding around the heel and collar. It's just comfortable.
Now we've got two different foot shapes. You've got a wide flat foot. I've got a narrow, low volume foot with a high arch. I find that it fits pretty well. I didn't have any hot spots, no heel lift. I didn't have to cinch down the laces a ton to get a really good fit. This is a size 10. I may have been off. I've been wearing size 10s in a lot of shoes and they seem to be fitting. And again, the HOKA is fitting my foot at a size 10. It also saves me a little weight.
I stuck with my normal 7.5. I will say there was some extra room in the toe box, but that's how I prefer to wear my shoes, so I like that. If you want a snugger, real snug fit, maybe size down a half, but otherwise I'd stick with your normal.
Do you know what I found that I liked about maybe a little tighter fit on this shoe? We start in the back with 36 millimeters, we move to the front with 32 millimeters. Quick math.
4 millimeter drop.
Boom! And I find that having that little snugger fit on top of this much foam with a plate and a swallowtail and all of this stuff going on, it helps.
A swallowtail?
That's what they're calling this, the swallowtail back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that make it prettier to you than
No.
goat hoof? I've been calling it the goat hoof.
No.
No? Okay. Time to fly. This shoe has that cushion and they're saying it's a little slightly different makeup to the foam. The foam is more similar to what you're gonna get in the Carbon X2 and in the Rocket X. So it's got a softer foam with a plate in it. Meg, what do you think?
I like it. You also still have that rocker geometry that HOKA is sort of known for, and you get a really smooth ride. It's soft, it's bouncy, it's not that light, but otherwise it's a good ride.
Well, speaking of weight, how much does your 7.5 weigh?
So my women's 7.5 weighs 8.96 ounces, basically 9 ounces, or 254 grams.
My size 10 weighs 11.15 ounces or 316 grams. It's on the heavier side, but there's some shoes without plates that don't have this much stack that are around the similar weight. You're not that far off from some daily trainers, which is surprising me because I always think of this as a slower moving shoe, but it's really not that heavy. And so for that person that wants to go long miles in a shoe with comfort, I think this shoe is right up there for you.
Yeah, I love it. Like I said, I really enjoy like those tired leg easy miles in this shoe, but now with the fiber plate, you can also just pick up the pace a little bit more, and there's just a little bit more bounce to it.
Yeah, there's plenty of rubber on the outsole as well, so durability, I think you're gonna be okay with this. The nice thing is with the foam, like you have in the Carbon X2, you're gonna have a lot of time to get that bounce out of the shoe. The carbon plate's gonna extend that feeling of life in the shoe, so it could be a benefit, but how much does the shoe cost?
So the shoe is $200, which is $50 more than the normal Bondi.
Yeah, and we did find out they're gonna continue to build the Bondi out.
Yeah.
So this isn't replacing the Bondi. It's not like every Bondi here on out is going to have a carbon fiber plate. This is just the Bondi X. With the Carbon X2, the Rocket X, what do we need another plated soft shoe that's not a racer? I mean, the Rocket X is a racer, but the Carbon X2 is not a racer. So why do we need this shoe in the lineup?
I think this is for, you know, that everyday runner, maybe the person who already loves the Bondi and they were thinking about a carbon fiber plate. This is sort of that entry level.
A lot of people who are on their feet love the Bondi for the softness and stuff like that. Do you think this shoe will still work for them?
I still think it's really comfortable. You can stand on it for a long time. You can go on long runs with it.
So runners, walkers,
Yeah.
nurses, anybody who needs to be on their feet for a long time, the shoe's still gonna work.
Think about how fast you can walk.
Yeah.
Speed walkers.
Very fast speed walking. The experience running in the shoe is a little unique because you come down, I feel like it's a shoe that you land in, you get that really soft feeling of landing, like very soft feeling of landing, like your foot sinks into the shoe. But now with the plate, you get that rebound and the toe off that feels a little more energetic than the other Bondi. So this month I'm going for some high mileage, and a shoe like this can really help keep your legs fresh for that high mileage.
Yeah, we got this the day before I was doing a long run, and I wore it for my long run with some speed in it, and then I picked it up the next morning and wore it again, and wore it again the next morning, which is very unusual when we're reviewing a lot of shoes, but I just kept gravitating towards it.
So this shoe comes out October 1st, just in time for you to pump up that Halloween costume and get that Frankenstein height that you've always wanted. I'm like 6'3" in this shoe. Yeah, it's exciting. So if you like this video and Super Coffee, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on the bell to get alerts when new videos are coming out. We're rocking them all the time. Meg, what do you think of our Instagram feed?
Definitely follow our Instagram feed if you want to see the latest photos of what we're reviewing, what we're running in. Thomas makes some reels now and again. Sometimes they're cool.
Sometimes they're not.
It just depends on the day.
Yeah, like today, there's a Rincon one out. It could be cool, could not be. Anyway, check that out. We'd also love you to listen to the Drop podcast, which we do. And Meg, you do a podcast with Meaghan Featherston from Featherston
Fuel
Nutrition.
for the Soul. So check that one out as well.
Yeah, and join our Strava group because we have a lot of fun there, and we have some Facebook groups. We have some Facebook groups if you're interested in that, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say? I'd throw this, but it would get Brandon all wet. Boom. Hey, Robbie, August 1st for the Bondi? Okay. So this shoe will be available August 1st with, depending on when you're actually watching the video, could be now.
Did Robbie whistle at us?
No, he did not. Somebody on the street. What?
He did whistle at us.
Okay.